I'm sorry.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me now? Hello. My name is Kevin. We are Dirty 20 Gaming. I did this already, but nobody heard. It's Friday. It is time for a fun shot. Real quick, Roll20 is our virtual tabletop of choice. And the image in the background behind us is from Pixabay. Yeah, everybody heard it twice. It's like deja vu. It's like vuja day. Nothing like this has ever happened before, except every other Friday. Oh, tonight we are playing a game that is not by Grant Howitt. That's what it was. Grant has cursed us. I'll have a word with him after. We are playing a game tonight by someone whose first name I will attempt to pronounce, because it's Paul. So Paul has made this wonderful game. I have not put the entire title of the game down there because I need to make the boxes big enough so you can see our faces. The whole title is, "Aw Dang, Mothman Won't Move Out. He Said It Was Just for the Weekend." I had to look over there. I actually have it written down. These guys, before we started tonight, created characters, but we'll get that to a minute because I said these guys, and so I have to introduce these people, these fine and wondrous people who have agreed to come and play a game they've never heard of before with me on a Friday, knowing full well what happens here on Fridays. In the alphabetical order that I have put them on the screen, Bison, with your hint of tomorrow, your foreshadowing in the background, the ball of fourness. I saw you were streaming with Roost Bar the other night. Where can we find you?
Mostly just streaming with Roost Bar, honestly. We play SnowRunner together, and by play SnowRunner, I mean get our trucks stuck in the mud.
And then fall over and get both trucks stuck in the mud and laugh hysterically. Yep. I watched some the other night.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Nick, I got stuck again.
Yep, and then Nick flips over trying to save you, and and then everybody laughs and recovers to the garage.
Yep. Other than that, I am struggling with a Cyberpunk Red campaign. I'm trying to get it off the ground. I had an hour's work just ready to go. And then I had to go to the bathroom. When I came back, Roll20 ate it. I'm okay with that. I'm trying to pretend that I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's coming.
Excellent. And any plans to, I know you own the digital Cyberpunk 2077. Any plans on streaming that?
I keep telling myself yes, but honestly, I can't think of a time I want to do it because I want certain people to watch it, like you, because I want you to fucking watch
I'm always here, so
yeah.
I'll watch the VOD after everybody else goes to bed.
So I'll figure it out, and maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah, do it. I'll host you. How's that?
Hey.
All right. Next on the list, a very, very busy human being. Welcome to the world of herding cats. Nick, welcome to the show tonight. And how is your first campaign planning going? And remember, one of the people in it is sitting here and will tell the others what you say.
See, it's going fine, and I can say whatever I want because she already knows one of the things that's going on fairly soon, either this session or next session, specifically with her character, and she's already picked who that's with.
Excellent.
And I'm excited for that. But at the same time, it's one of those whole timing things, and I know somebody's going to be out, not this week, but next week. So don't know.
Yep. Episodic episodes. What? That's a dumb way to phrase that. Episodes. Every session is an end. That way you always get back to the base and somebody can just go, I'm buggering off for the next couple of days. It's brilliant.
See, we're still in like that whole like beginning part. So there's no real like base just yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. Yep. Oh, then give them one. And when they're not there, they're staying back building the base. Ah,
Hey.
there you go. Oh, next. So I'll leave you thinking of that. Next, we have someone with a social media presence, a true social media presence. Sans, tell us about, well, first of all, congratulations on the 10 Candle show on Tuesday. That was joyous fun. I had such a good time, amongst other things, killing your husband. Like 2 hours after I met him, it was wonderful. Thank him for that as well. But where can we find you and all your wondrousness?
I'm at the Prolonged Engagement over on YouTube. I am also on the Scarred Adventurer blog, writing fun things. So
Okay, and running games
I'm
for
just-
other people. Yeah,
yep, I'm just writing a lot right now. So
excellent. Keep us up to date on what's coming, because I know you're also a actor. So keep us in the
Yep.
loop about other stuff that's on its way. Which brings us down to the bottom row with me. I keep him down here because he's Canadian. He can't be allowed in the top row. We're not allowed to win. We have to finish second or third. It's unless the Olympics are in our own country. Those are the rules.
I live an hour away from you, bud.
I know, but I can only put 2 people on the bottom row, and I just made that joke up now, so shush. He's way further north than either one of us anyway. But Scarred Adventurer. It's been mentioned once already, your blog. Fill us in on that. And what else are you doing?
So I have a blog called The Scarred Adventure where I invite lovely people to come and write and do art and all sorts of other stuff that they like to do, and just give them another place to do it. That is really what I need to say about the blog. I'm also working on a podcast, which is going a little crazily. I have like meetings I have to set up with people now.
Oh, no.
Do stuff.
Oh,
More
welcome
will
to
come out on
production.
that later.
Yeah.
More about that will come out later, as well as another project I'm also working on that will show up on Dirty 20 Gaming.
Right
Both
here.
the small
Several of them,
thing-
actually. Several projects.
Yes, both a small thing that's happening in a couple weeks.
Yep.
A couple or a few? You know,
1,
semantics.
2, you'll be 3. Yeah.
yeah, so a few.
Yes.
And then another thing, similar to the first thing, that will be coming out eventually. But I'm not saying much more about that because I want you to sit in suspense and go, what the hell is he talking about?
Oh, he's good at secrets. He's very good at secrets. Somebody who's not good at secrets, because I can't keep my frickin' mouth shut, is me. I am here at Dirty 20 all week, and when I'm not here, you can find a virtual copy of me over at YouTube, which I always keep forgetting to tell people. It's all of our old stuff is there as well, so you can get caught up on the series that are currently going on. You can get caught up on these crazy FunSHots and other stuff that's going on. And yes, thank you. The easiest place to get a hold of us is the Discord. Information to be clicked in the chat. Friendliest Discord ever.
Memes
Okay.
galore.
Memes galore. All right. With that, these fine human beings have created some characters before we started. Although, I mean, it's, 5 things. That was your character. Anyway, here's where we're going to start. The 4 of you are university students. It's the start of the semester and you've just been assigned housing. None of you really know each other. It's been about 3 weeks, so you're still at that sort of uncomfortable spot where you spend most of your time in your rooms and not very much time in the common area. But there's not an elephant in the room, but there is an elephant in the room. And that elephant is Mothman. This is a cryptid. This is a 6-foot-tall winged individual with bright, glowing red eyes, a proboscis, 2 antennas that move independently of each other, patterns on the wings, arms, legs, and a propensity for lots and lots of pineapple on their pizza. They showed up 3 weeks ago at the start of semester, and the 4 of you have had a conversation, and none of you invited them to stay here? But at the start of the semester, there was a lot of people coming in and out of here, so maybe somebody gave them permission. The point is, it's been 3 weeks, and he's wrecking all your stuff. And anything that you've got that's made out of wool It's got holes in it, even though he refuses to accept that it was him that did it. He did explain to you one brief drunken night, because he also drinks pineapple flavored liqueur. There's something about pineapples in this guy. It's just, and pineapple pizza. No, he orders a Hawaiian pizza with no ham. Like, who does that? It's just pineapples and sauce and cheese, and they drink. Oh, it's gross. Anyway, he is wrecking your stuff. He told you once, one drunken night, that he put his life savings into cryptocurrency and lost it all to Bitcoin farmers using high-end GPUs to corner the market. It's time. He has wrecked every room in this house. You need to find out what his problem is. You need to fix it. And you need to get Mothman to move out. It's Friday, 6 o'clock. In 2 hours, every other dorm on this university is going to explode into a party. But yours won't. Because nobody wants to party with Mothman in this living room. Because he's been living here for 3 weeks, and it's nasty. So, who wants to start? The 4 of you are in the common area. Mothman is at the other end of the common area, passed out on the couch, because he always sleeps till like 4 in the afternoon. There's half a pizza, pineapple smell wafting through the air. There's a big, like, 20-ounce glass full of his pineapple liqueur with a pineapple ring in it, sitting on the table with a straw. What do you
Been there
do?
for a week.
Oh yeah, it's got stuff, it's got bugs and a skin.
Stuart's pacing at
This
the
is
other
not
end.
your
Of the,
typical RPG. What do you do? Stuart, go.
Stuart is pacing from one end of the common area to the other, checking his smartphone. You know,
Okay.
a specific TV guide, and he's like, "It's on in 10 minutes. It's on in 10 minutes. You won't get off my couch. You won't get off my couch. Get off my couch. You won't get off my couch."
There's a
And
pile
you
of
see
pizza
that.
boxes in front of the TV, like you're gonna have to move those, and it's hideous. Rinaldi, like you could, it's in their sleep they go, and that really annoying fine powder comes off their way. You know, as soon as it gets to this end of the room, you're gonna start to sneeze again. What do you do?
This was really cool at the beginning because it is a cryptid, and
Yeah.
I was so excited. Like I thought like I had a cool roommate who said this was okay. I didn't know. And he took my computer. I don't know where to put it, but I can't write on my blog, and that's a little problem. And
You
I'm
look
just-
over, your computer is just like not quite under a butt cheek, but kind of under their bent knees. And it's open, and you can see that it's starting to flicker like the battery's about to die.
Again,
Yeah. Barry.
I'm just on my phone.
Rinaldi.
I'm on my phone, like
With the charger plugged in.
Like-
I
Barry.
have a character limit on mobile. This isn't fair.
So at this point, I've kind of left my room for probably the 3rd or 4th time today. I kind of look over at the couch. I know we put it under there so that nobody, gets the Wi-Fi password who's not supposed to have it during parties. But we really need to deal with this Mothman on top of the couch because we need to restart the router again.
At that point, your phone craps out. Wireless no longer connected. Tom.
Oh no.
I should be grading papers right now. I should be grading high school English papers about terrible stories, but he's taken most of them and he's rolled them up into blunts.
Yeah, there's some really large falling apart roaches with writing on them in the ashtray. Yes. One of those large comedy lighters, really big ones.
I'm gonna have to give those kids A's, and they'll go, "Where's my writing? It was my only copy. I wanted to put it on my blog." And then I'll just.
There is at your door. Hey!
I'm gonna open the door and go, "Hi."
What, Carl?
You open the door. You say, "What, Carl?" He looks down at you and says, "My name's not Carl. It's Squatch." And standing at your door is a 9-foot tall Sasquatch.
No, I think this one's yours.
He has 4 cases of Canadian beer, kokanee for my Canadian friends, under his arms. They used the Sasquatch to advertise their beer for years, and he just turns sideways and wiggles past you, like it's his place.
No.
Where's the double M? I bet she's passed out. It's only like 5.
Get out of the house. Did anyone invite you in explicitly?
I have beer.
I don't care.
Are you broken?
Yes. All of us are broken. We are adults.
Fuck that, I ain't hanging around here then. He turns around and walks back out.
Where'd you learn that one?
I know you read
Sasquatches
enough
are easy to get rid of
terrible-
when they're sober. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
If he'd been drinking.
The party would have already been started.
Yeah. So.
Oh man.
There it is.
Okay, but seriously, how are we going to get this moth off the couch?
Anyone have a really big light?
I tried Sonic 2006 and it just didn't work. He actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, yes, they enjoy it, but you lead them out the door.
The cord isn't long enough.
You know,
Speaking of out the door, in the backyard, you hear, "Cool, barbecue."
He just the back.
He just went around the back and started the barbecue.
did the Sasquatch start up the barbecue?
Yep, he's that guy.
I mean, hopefully he knows
We're
what
on,
methane
like,
instead of
the
propane over
third
there, but it should be
story.
fine.
Sorry, what was that, Barry? You're on the third story. It's even
Yeah. We have methane in the can instead of propane, but I'm sure it's fine.
better. Outside, you hear, "Whoomp. Well, fuck, I guess I'm bold. Oh, don't that stink. Oh, don't that... Beer. And you hear... as 3 quick beers open at once. You look out the window and there's a Sasquatch, and in his huge hand there's 3 beers. He has all of one, half of the second one, a quarter of the third one, looks around and goes... and then finishes them off and throws the empties over the fence into the neighbor's yard.
That's not even our yard.
No, it's my goddamn yard. Quit throwing your beers over here. How many times I gotta tell you, if you're gonna throw beers over, don't do it.
Look, we're sorry, Mr. Kankerschmidt.
And the Sasquatch, like, is 9 feet tall. He's now got all the hair burnt off the front of him. So he's bald back to here. And is still smoking and stinking. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, those were empty." And in what is obviously an attempt to be friendly, he grabs a beer out of the thing and spirals it like he's throwing a football at the neighbor. Yeah, it goes over the fence and you just hear doink and then nothing. You just see him go, oh, actually, you guys are on the 3rd floor. You saw that. You said it. So you get to see this. Yeah. Forehead. Yeah. The neighbor's, no. And he just goes straight over backwards and hits the ground.
The guy's like 80.
Yeah. His 75-year-old wife looks down, hobbles past him with her walker, picks up the beer and goes,
I was
and
gonna
then
say
starts
the
to
beer,
drink.
I was gonna say the bottle cap was still popped in.
Okay, yeah, I like that too.
You've got the
Oh, okay, well,
bottle in his
we'll split the difference. She goes to take it off, and it takes off like a cork and sticks right in the spot, the bruise in his forehead. So now he's got a circular bruise from the base, and then the bottle cap stuck right in the middle of it. And she's drinking her first beer in probably 40 years, is the impression that you get. It's okay, they already didn't like you.
She might like us more now.
I doubt it.
I mean, we just brutalized her husband.
Well, it wasn't us.
Do you really think that matters to them at this point?
Got a
True.
beer, she's not going to remember.
You hear from the neighbor's backyard, well, at least that one's shaved.
I'm going to take that personally.
And from the couch, you hear memorabilia. As Mothman sits up. Big glowing red eyes. And he kind of his head snaps around and looks at the four of you, and he kind of glazes over. You've seen this before. He's about to prophesy. And he says, "Oh, woman in Russia's washing machine will break and her clothes will stink for weeks."
Again, not helpful. We had this conversation during my philosophy paper that I failed. Thank you.
I mean, they're not all. I mean, the first one was about a bridge. People died. That was in 1966, because I did a tiny bit of research on Wikipedia.
It is the right year.
Mhm.
I have it open.
This was me checking to see which one of you buggers looked it up when I told you that the name of the game was. So, Mothman is now awake and sitting on the couch surrounded by his mess. What do you do?
You know, I don't want to be this guy, but a cleansing fire.
I don't think we want to burn down the house, Tom. I think we need it.
Can we not?
Fire.
Actually, isn't there fire outside where the grill is?
Fire.
I'm pretty sure he's a Sasquatch, not a gorilla, but yeah.
Sasquatch outside? Oh, cool. And he leaps like cans fly everywhere. His Snuggie that he had laid across his knees falls off of his knees, but it keeps the shape of his legs because he's been there for like 4 days and it's all like Cheetos and grease from shit. And it just goes clunk on the floor. And he's Sasquatch in the backyard, barbecue, barbecue. And as he's hopping through the room, that dust off of his wings is just filling the area. You guys
You
are
don't-
so Canadian. It's just
You don't think that if we were to just, lock the door.
Can we change the locks fast enough?
I mean, do you really need to change the locks when you can just break them off in the locked position?
Break it and just call a locksmith, say we're locked in.
as
That
you look
could
down the
work.
hallway, the back door's open and Mothman is now out in the yard. Sasquatch is holding him back from leaping into the fire. And finally he grabs his head, turns it until he's looking up at the sun. He says, "There, you stupid bastard." And Mothman just stands in the yard and jumps.
It always amazes me, this yard that we have
He
in the
hands him a
third-story
beer.
building.
Mothman's doing it, and the beer's just...
I'm going to have to clean that up after.
Yeah, it's a city
Well-
university. There's no way it's grass, right? This is
turf.
it's like a patio. So you guys are now looking down the hall at this cryptid party developing in your backyard. Sasquatch has his phone out. It's half melted, man. And he's scrolling. You can see he's scrolling his contacts.
Oh, crap.
Oh no.
If he brings if the Loch Ness Monster comes again, I am going to have a fit.
Again?
Where's Select All?
Oh yeah, no, you were out that day.
Why did I
There
come
it
back
is. Should
again?
we invite the vampires? I think we should. No, it's day. No, it'll be night soon. We shouldn't. No, wait. Cancel those three. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. Vampires are-
Werewolves. Yeah, it's not a
Make it
full moon. We're
easier.
good.
Should we lock the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open the gate, lock the door. I think that's our current plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just lock them out.
It's not a problem. It's outside. We'll be fine.
outside.
guys
we can
lock
clean
the
the
door.
inside.
You sort of, I'm just in my head. You're hunkering down, right? Like you're turning down the lights and closing the curtains and pretending you're not home, even though it's like a whole dorm building. The whole building's in on this with you, by the way. Like they don't want to hear either. So you guys start, playing like you're not home. The whole dorm does it with you. You look out the window and you see Sasquatch and the others start showing up. Like it's like dragons and werewolves. There's no vampires. They specifically said they weren't hiring those. Your cryptid specialist here, you are just like, that list of birds that birders get really excited when they check them all off. You're like, you got finally, he's off the couch. So you got your you got your phone going in one hand, taking footage, and you're plugging in the laptop with the other and checking off all the things on the list.
Stuart goes, he sees the second Stuart sees a dragon, his eyes just go wide. And considering they're super dilated, that's quite the skill.
Yeah.
And just like, I've been preparing for this moment my entire life. And he dives into the nerd closet. When he comes out, he's dressed in like the cosplay he's been preparing for the last 6 years that he will not shut up about when he's not talking about Batman.
Yep.
And just like, wondrous.
I don't think you should go out there.
If you want to get locked out, sure.
If they come in, I've been preparing for this moment.
Just
Mothman
don't let him in.
Mothman walks into the room, says, "You guys locked the door. I had to fly through the second floor window. I just got to get my shirt. Excuse me." And he grabs the shirt. Party's in the yard, dude. That's really good. Do that to Sask. He's so freaked out right now because he's got no hair. He said he looks like he hasn't had this little hair since he was 2. And he just opens the window, jumps out, and spreads his wings and down to the backyard. Why are these curtains closed? You guys are now standing in the setting sun.
Stuart is so focused that all he sees is a hit point bar.
Yep.
Mothman level XX and just chases after him out the window.
You leap out the window on the third floor, as we have ascertained, and start to fall.
No.
There's a Tom is very quickly grabbing the scruff of the cosplay.
Okay.
Like we're kind of just back here-ish.
Remember, you guys also have features in this house. If you can figure out how to get those in there.
Yeah, no, I am going to stop him. I'm going to read him a poem about the dangers of attacking dragons.
Oh, see, we need to get some of these pizza boxes out anyway.
Grow out of flagons. They're lies told by fools.
Yeah, sure.
He's just out the window, just hanging by the cloak, trying to run.
If this works, then Stuart will come back in and won't fall to his not death, but severe damage.
So, are you trying to struggle to get away from him? To try and get to this dragon?
Yeah, he dead set on the dragon.
Okay, so you're hanging out the window, you're struggling with him. The two of you, because you're at the window, see the old lady next door. She's finished her beer. She has a very ladylike little that lifts her about 4 inches off the ground because she's really tiny. And then she looks up at the dragon and she says, "Well, I'm not a virgin, but it's been so long I might as well be," and rips her shirt open.
I would like to
offers
roll
herself to the dragon.
I would like to roll 2d6 to erase this memory from my brain.
Okay, Stuart.
And if I
Speaking
fail,
of rolling 2d6, a number of things sort of roll out, she's gonna have to be careful not to step on him. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, your neighbor has now offered herself to the dragon. Knight in shining armor hanging out the window. How do you respond to that? Because you can see, well, first of all, that's a damsel in distress. So are we testing any, what are we doing?
This didn't, I wasn't expecting that. I think Stuart
Should I just let you go?
I mean, we could give him some pizza boxes to pat it.
I mean,
You're hanging
Stuart's
far
covered-
enough down. This isn't that kind of
Stuart's
game. You're
covered
not going to get hurt
combat
if you let him go.
foam
so.
and
I'm
Stuart's
just going to
Pizza
kind of
box
drop
down.
him and go. I'm going to vomit.
Best case
a lot.
scenario, he floats,
Okay.
and worst case scenario, he doesn't so much land on the dragon as land on the buffet table that
Yeah,
Sasquatch.
I was going to say,
Okay.
he lets you go. You grab the cloak, like this is your moment, and you go, boom, and pull the cloak out,
He's
Batman
like,
style.
Super Mario 1991. Wow.
Yeah, but you could only afford cheap aluminum fins from an umbrella. So it utterly fails immediately. And instead of gliding across the yard to the dragon, as you see, you plummet to the buffet table, landing face first in the macaroni salad. There's coleslaw everywhere. It's also the I don't know why this is here, but it's the potluck table. So it's all the stuff nobody wanted to eat anyway. And you kind of land at one end, and the table just goes boom and just launches all sorts of
That's different
vegetables and
flavors.
salads and all the
some
non-meat
dip.
stuff just goes flying across the yard.
I was
The
gonna
dragon's
say,
like catching stuff out of the air.
A bevy of Jello molds fly through the air.
One of the werewolves turns around and goes, "What the?" And yeah, a big like an ass pick just right across his eye, so you can see through it, and it's got the bits of fruit in it, and it just goes as it slides down off their face and falls to the ground. At which point, a vampire who wasn't invited but is peeking over the other fence, wearing a big sun hat, laughs uproariously because everybody knows vampires hate werewolves.
Do we hear someone yell "food fight"?
You guys upstairs, yes, the two of you that are still upstairs now run to the other window and look out, and yeah, it appears that you missed a food fight. In 3 seconds, it appears there was a World War III food fight. By the time you look out, this dragon is covered in like little pies that have stuck to them, because they're the biggest thing out there, so they got the most food on them. But there are
Why did they dig
mermaids.
trenches?
Yeah, there are a whole bunch of mermaids in the pool. That are coming up to the surface for chips, like goldfish.
Pool chips are not good. Oh.
Squatch is standing over the fire, just like, "It's okay. They didn't mess with the meat."
Wait, so if we mess with the meat, they leave.
I mean, that's a theory. Would you like to hear my theory of what happens if we mess with the meat?
I'm guessing it depends on whose, but sure, go for your theory.
We become the meat.
Mess with the
Our
meat.
entire
Meet
dorm.
the Squatch. As he's dancing over there, flipping burgers. This stuff's so good, a moth eats meat. Let me say that again. This is so good, a moth eats meat.
I don't even know what a moth actually eats.
The only thing I know is wool.
Yeah,
So
clothes.
I made that joke already, so I can't go back there. I'm pretty sure they're not carnivorous.
You know, there are certain kinds of moths that once they become fully grown, they lose their mouth and they essentially starve to death. But their only prerogative is to mate.
I kind of got that prerogative,
So
but I still
fresh-
got my mouth too. He's got like a beer in each hand and he's starting to wobble because he's just little. I mean, he's only a moth, right? He's a lightweight, literally. There's a wind. He kind of.
If we just threw out all of his stuff right now, do you think that would help?
Considering the connection he seems to have with what Sasquatch? Gosh, Sasquatch could probably get it all back in here in one trip. But what if we put it all in Sasquatch's car?
Ooh, that's what we could do. If we put it all in the car
He's got a van. He's a big
or
dude.
van,
Yeah. He sits on the floor. He's ripped a seat out. He sits on the floor.
With an airbrush graphic on the side.
Of him. Yeah.
You know what? Let's just put everything into the van. Let's pack it up, and we're going to say, "Hey, thanks for coming in. Thanks for this great moving out party to get rid of Mothman," and just leave it at that.
that could work.
Okay.
Mothman
know,
goes
worst case
absolutely
scenario?
rigid over by the fence and turns towards you. And his eyes aren't red. And you've seen this before. He's pretending to prophesy. He says, I foresee the infinite doom and death to anybody who throws Mothman out of the place he's currently staying. Ooh.
Considering
There's
the
beer
amount of
everywhere
stress he
'cause
puts
he's-
on us anyway, we're probably going to die anyway. So let's start now.
And, you know, worst case scenario, Sasquatch moves in as well.
Oh my.
So let's roll those dice, see what happens.
Stuart has a jello mold on his face, so he can't see.
Yep.
He's going to
Rid of the
strike,
mask.
he's going to strike something
Just.
on a 5-6.
Yep.
It is going to be Mothman.
Okay.
one,
That's the good
two.
thing.
On a 1-2, he hits the dragon.
Okay. So yeah,
Um,
the way this works is you're going to roll either 2 or 3 dice, just to quickly explain the mechanics to our viewers. And every time you do this, you say a good thing and a bad thing. So the good thing is you will stab Mothman. That's a good thing. Okay.
With a foam sword.
Well, right, and the bad thing is you will strike the dragon instead. So
Yeah.
now you're going to roll. Can you add a die to the 2 from any of your things that
die
you're good at?
When he does it, he's going to scream a copyrighted phrase from a certain final show game thing as he does it, because he thinks at this point he's angry enough. He thinks he's in a video game. So he's
Okay,
going to
absolutely. Okay,
roll 3d6.
so
and
3d6, and you're going to pick 2 of them to use.
On a 3 or a 4, does he hit one of the now us moving crew?
Well, this is not good. This is excellent example. This is a bad. Well, here we go. If you take that, we'll start with the 2 because that's the fun one. If you put that 2 on the good thing, which is Mothman stabbing Mothman, it means it doesn't happen.
Mhm.
If you put it on the bad thing, dragon, it means that does happen. And either way, you still have a 3, which no matter where you put it means the thing happens, but there's a complication.
I want to go with the 2 3s.
Use the
So
2
that-
3s and leave the 2 out altogether. Okay, yep.
And the 2 out altogether, because that's just gonna dial up the chaos. He's just gonna scream cyclone and go like
Yeah,
this.
well, you know what? Yes, and. So, yeah, you leap forward, jelly mold totally distorting your view. Your mask didn't have much view anyway because it's so deep to give you those fake cheekbones. And you leap towards Mothman with what weapon in hand?
It's just a cosplay sword.
Okay, perfect. You stab Mothman with it, and it goes right through one of his wings and right into the dragon's ass that's right behind it. So you have essentially pinned Mothman to a white dragon's ass.
It'll be gone by the end of the night.
That can work.
Screams critical hit.
I want to respond to that because I just had the image in my head. The tail, so he's pinned like to the ass cheek of the dragon. The tail of the dragon just goes whoosh, and he just falls off the side and poof into your backyard. The dragon reaches around with a claw, pulls out this plastic sword, and just looks at you. And a little bit of cold comes out, freezes your plastic sword absolutely solid, and it just reaches up and goes, tsh, and it shatters like liquid nitrogen.
Stuart says something, but it's not entirely sure what is said because of the jello mold and the helmet. There's like
Rinaldi, what are you doing at this point?
I'm heading up into the attic where I've kind of made where my
Oh,
little
yes.
collection of creepy stuff
Absolutely,
is.
yep. It's a whole little
And-
museum up there.
And I'm kind of throwing stuff down and being like, will this help? Will this help? One of those items is a very obviously haunted doll that should not be up there.
Yep.
And Not
came in.
quite
It was
sure
here when
why.
we moved in.
We'll call it Charlene.
Yeah. And Rinaldi just throws Charlene down.
Like out the window into the party.
No. Just
Oh,
down
that's-
to whoever's
that-
at the bottom, being
Okay.
like,
So down into the house.
This?
Okay.
Hey,
Yep.
Tom, do you recognize
So
the
yeah,
little-
Barry, you're downstairs. This doll drops out of the attic towards you, and about halfway down, it goes.
Hey, Tom, I think this thing fits with the party. You want to throw us out the window?
Yeah. Guys, catch! And like in a spiral baseball kind of throw, I
Aiming for
toss
Squatch?
it.
Where's the
So
ball?
I'm going to throw it to Sasquatch. If it goes very well, Sasquatch catches it. If it goes very badly,
Goes in
the
the grill.
doll lands in the barbecue, ruining the meat.
Okay. Sasquatch barbecue. Yeah, I see what you're doing there, but yeah, I can turn that into a bad thing. Killer doll in a barbecue? Absolutely, I can turn that into a bad
The
thing.
meat?
Go ahead
Yeah,
and
the
give
meat.
us.
Like if
Weird ticking sound.
Charlene ends up in the thing, it'll probably ruin all the meat and make everyone very angry. So things will happen.
So you pick up and hurl. Okay, is that 2 dice or 3?
During this time, I will use
Is
some of
anybody
my
else getting
skill
a-
as an English teacher.
I'm here.
Getting a
Going
little
to
bit of
be
that
or not to
one
be?
off.
That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to throw this doll into a Sasquatch's arms or let it burn into the fiery abyss from which it came.
Can we just take turns shutting off mics for a second? I just want to see if we can get rid of that sound. Rinaldi, can I get you to do it first? Oh, it's you. Sorry. If you can do push to talk. Yeah, there's a tick, 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 a very regular metronomic ticking when your mic is on. Like a wiggly cable, perhaps? There we go. Wiggly cable fixed. There we go. Thank you. So, you give a speech which, like every Shakespeare speech in university, is completely ignored by everybody on the floor where you are, everybody in the rooms. There's people outside screaming, "He's not even a decent poet." That's the English department. The engineers are building a bridge to get out of here. Do you hurl the doll into the backyard?
I'm
And
going
Barry,
to
what
hurl
were you
it.
doing?
I was, considering it fell down, I kind of saw it. I said, "Hey, Tom, you want to truck this?"
Right. Okay.
It was kind of my suggestion more to him.
Sure. Okay. So, Tom, you pick up the doll.
And I've said my speech.
Yep. So, give us some dice. 2 or 3?
3, I think.
3.
Yes.
Good.
4,
Okay.
5, and 3.
So you can make a good thing happen, or you can, well, you've got, yeah. You know how this works.
I'm going to make it so that the doll does not fall in the fire. The 5 goes on the worst case scenario, and the 4
Okay,
goes
so that gets rid of
on
that.
the best case scenario.
So the doll falls onto Sasquatch, but because there is a complication, it does. You drop it, and it's like the death from above tack in video games. You just watch as he's halfway down. It's just whoosh, as he's dropping towards the Sasquatch in slow motion. He reaches out as he catches. Remember, the back of the Sasquatch has still got its hair. He catches him here by the hair and just hauls back. Sask's head twists back like this, and the little guy's riding his back, just kicking and clawing at the back of him. Sasquatch spins around to get rid of him, and as he spins, his long hair swings out, catches fire above the barbecue. And you now have a flaming killer doll / Sasquatch combination drunk running around your backyard with a dragon, some werewolves, and one vampire who's peeking over the fence.
Well,
I said help.
You know what? Yeah.
You're ticking again.
I feel like at the end of this, we're no worse off than we really started. However, I also feel like we're all going to be evicted.
but will Mothman be evicted?
That becomes the university's problem, not mine.
And if he comes with us?
Then that becomes our problem, and we just
Mothman stumbles up between the I guess some of you or three of you are still inside, or are you all still inside?
I'm outside.
You're out in the backyard,
The
yeah.
dragon.
So
I'm
yeah,
in the
Mothman
attic.
comes up to the three of you that are inside and somehow puts a wing and two arms. So he's got all three of you in sort of that hands over the shoulder thing, and there's a beer in both hands, and he's just like his big red eyes are pointed in different directions. His proboscis is kind of waving around, and he says, "I figured it out. I know how I can move out of your house. Now, it's a nice house, by the way. I usually get sprayed when I move in people's houses for 3 weeks.
How
You
the
guys
hell
are
did
really
you get
nice.
back in here?
I fly. You guys
but
don't
got a
lock
hole in your
windows.
wing.
Yeah, but it's only a little hole. I've had worse.
Okay. Just don't tell us where it is, because then we have to figure out how to fix it.
It's not that kind of hole. But
Sure.
what we need to do, I got it figured out, guys. I know how to make my money back. It's very simple.
This is
Some
the
of
first time
my
you told me
stuff.
about money.
Oh yeah, I gotta get money so I can pay rent and move out from you guys, right? Because I hear what you say when you think I'm sleeping. I'm not sleeping. I'm just resting my eyes. But pineapple beer. Who made pineapple beer? Even I think that's a bad idea. Okay,
And it is.
I got a lot of stuff. And a long time ago in West Virginia, I had a lot of stuff there, and then I ran away and I left it. And they took some of my stuff and they put it in a museum. So if you guys help me steal my stuff, I can sell it. It's collectibles. And then I
Can
can
you
you're
also
telling
sell the
me-
stuff that you currently have as collectibles?
I haven't done anything in the public eye since like 1967.
You've collected a fair share of pizza boxes.
But maybe like a YouTube channel, but I don't think that's going to work for much money. I know people that have 400,000 viewers on YouTube and can't make a dime.
Hey, you got
Ad
me there.
revenue is fucking awful.
Yeah.
And you're too vulgar to be sponsored by someone, so yeah,
That's absolutely true. The beeper would be very, very busy. So
Have
I
you
think
considered
we should go and
asking
steal
Swatch?
some of my memorabilia. And I think we should do it before I sober up.
And you're telling me they also lock the windows,
Yeah, but I can fly.
but they lock the windows.
But I can fly into broken window. Well, they'll be broken after I fly into them.
Okay,
Has
how far away is
Rinaldi
West
possibly
Virginia?
stolen any of this and has it in the attic?
You got some of my stuff in the attic. Let's go look. And he flies up into the attic. Like he's
Watch out for possessed
pulling on the
dolls.
windows, trying to get in. You have to go in and let him in. That's the one window in the whole place that's locked just for narrative purposes.
He was just in the room. Why did he leave?
The stairwell.
He went outside and up, and then he's trying to get in through the window. Yeah. He's a
So
moth.
pokes open the window.
My stuff. Hey. Oh. Do not drink and fly. I almost fell over coming through that window.
Tragic.
Yeah.
I better finish these before I go back down.
So would I roll a 3d6?
Yes, absolutely. You have cryptid lore. Absolutely. No, make it 4. Why not? This is your jam.
Okay.
Oh wow. We didn't even say what the good thing was, but it happened 3 times.
So good.
The good thing is you found his stuff. Okay.
Rinaldi had some of his stuff up in the
The bad
attic.
thing
that-
was you found a cursed stick. Because it doesn't matter now. So we don't have to be
It
creative.
wasn't that close.
I was about to
Cursed
say
old
the bad thing
So,
is it needs to
You
be.
pull up the
authentic.
stick and go, well, that used to be cursed, but it isn't anymore, and you'd burn 1 6 for that. And then you use the other 6 to find the other 2 6s to find, and the 5 actually. Those are all successes. So yeah, you burn the 5 to do that, and then 3 6s to find 3 items of Mothman. He's in tears, drunken, weeping tears, as he pulls on this outfit of him. It's got moth wings that he's wrapping over his own wings. It's got a furry moth body that he's doing up buttons over his own furry moth body. You have no idea how much this means to me. Oh my God. Is that some of my swamp? As you hand him this jar of muck. Home! And he's just modeling now. He's pouring a little bit of beer in it for my little buggy friends. Oh, my little buggy friends. And he's having a drink and he's pouring more into the dirt.
Hey,
What's the
Tom,
third
do you
one?
think we should
You're
close the
muted,
attic?
but you tell us. What's the third thing of Mothman's that you have?
A piece of the concrete from the bridge that fell.
Now that's just cold. That's just mean.
That was his
I
first-
didn't make it fall.
They had it where I found it. Yeah, found him.
Yeah, I tried to tell them. I tried to tell them all that, and then they wouldn't listen. I'm sad now. I need beer and out the window, and he's forgotten that he's put on his outfit, and he can no longer fly, and he just plummets 3 floors to the ground. On the bright side, as he does so, the poof of his landing blows out the last bit of fire on the back of the Sasquatch, who is now completely bald.
Is there
And is walking around with one hand in the front and one hand in the back, trying to cover his. But they're
is
both
the
still got
moth
beers in them.
flammable at all or not
It's
really?
like, oh, that's cold. Oh, that's cold. Like, oh, right between the cheeks, right in the. Oh, that's all just cold. Sorry, it's been a long time since Barry said anything. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say, is moth dust at all flammable?
Oh, very much so. Everything about moths are flammable.
Oh, great. So we have a barbecue going outside
Yep.
and a moth that just fell in a whole bunch of dust.
Yep.
with a cosplayer next to him.
With a cosplayer next to him. To make things worse.
No,
'Cause that's
I
what
think
this is about.
You know what?
I'm going to move out at this point. This is just,
Forget my university education. I'll dig ditches. I'll dig. Yeah.
look, I've had some nice options to transfer. Let's just
I don't. There's a lot going on right now.
There really is. As you kind of gape in awe, Mothman gets up on the picnic table and looks over the fence into the distance. And you hear, "Oh, shit, my mom and dad are looking for me." You turn and look on the horizon, and Mothra and Godzilla are tearing Tokyo apart on the horizon. It turns out all these years, all the movies have been wrong. It's not pointless destruction. They're looking for their child. He's missing. And they're just trying to find him.
Okay, I guess that means we gotta get the van because. Oh, I guess we're stealing Sasquatch's van to bring Mothman.
I'll drive. Sasquatch stumbles around. I look like a people now anyway. I'll
You're
drive.
drunk.
your blood alcohol level is at like 1. No.
Oh, okay. Can I ride on the roof then?
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever.
That's gonna be
Urban
really cold. I hope you know what you're
surfing.
doing.
And he runs out to the front yard. You guys grab the drunken Mothman who still started like freaked out, like his parents just showed up. Like you're hanging out with all your buddies and your parents, you see them coming into the park to come and get you. And your buddies just go like, "Let's get out of here." And you all just bolt. So you take off with Mothman, you run around the front. You've said van a couple of times. We even said white van once. It turns out, and this could be foreshadowed, it's a white Ford Bronco. And on the roof is a naked Sasquatch surfing, even though you're not moving yet. Dun, 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 dun.
You know, if he falls off the roof, I'm not turning around to get him again.
No.
Mothman and his memorabilia run towards the white Ford Bronco and dive into the back.
Oh, there's nothing in this van. It's literally just empty with a steering wheel.
Yep,
We
there's
meant to do
no
one
place to
person.
drive in the front. And Mothman is now curled up in the back with his memorabilia. Sasquatch is on the roof going, "Hey, it's kind of broken because I'm so heavy. It only does like 30 miles an hour."
You know, maybe if we just wait for his parents to come and
Have
pick
you
him
tried
up,
turning it
that'd
off
be-
and back on again?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. And so I turn it
is that one
on.
of your knowledge things? Yeah.
That
Give me
is, in
3
fact,
dice.
one of the things I wrote down for my knowledge.
Excellent.
thing.
Give me 3 dice then. Yeah, absolutely. For turn the van off and turn it back on again.
Okay. What? Okay. So for
So that's what happens if you succeed. The van resets. If you don't succeed, I get to tell you what the van did.
okay. 5, a 5, and a 4.
5s. Okay, so the 2 5s and a 4. So you have to apply 2 of those. So yeah, you can make the bad thing go away with one of the 5s and make the good thing happen with the other one. So yes, you turn off the van. You go to turn it back on, and first it goes. But then running out of the backyard, you hear, "I hear you, and I can help." And this skinny little dude with like blue sparks for hair runs over, pulls open the hood of the Bronco, puts his fingers on the battery. There's a huge blast of lightning under the hood. The hood flies off and down the street. You hear sirens approaching now. He says, "That should get you going." He turns around and just fast as lightning back into the backyard.
Why did he go back to the back? You know what?
There's just an
Whatever.
electrified beer can sitting on the street, just vibrating, with foam coming out of the top of it.
Hey, Stuart, you in here as well? Or are you hanging out with the dragon still?
You're still in the backyard. Well, by this point, the dragon has
was
gone
gonna
over
say-
the fence. Yep, the dragon is. It's decided that that's virgin enough. So the dragon is going over the fence.
Not this shit again. Gone.
On the bright side, it's taken its human form, so it's not as hideous as you might imagine.
He sees the 2 obvious boss monsters fighting.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, yes, you do.
And he's like, gets on top of the hood with Sasquatch, points
Yep.
what's left with one of his swords. It's like a crackled, frozen, almost like a popsicle, basically. He's like, "Forward!"
And Sasquatch picks you up and holds you forward and says, "You're the queen of the world." And the white, who's driving this thing?
I think Tom was.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. Well, Barry hotwired it, so Tom's driving. Okay. Tom, give me a roll. You got any dice that would make this better than just 2?
No.
Okay. So
Let's be honest. Just,
if you
no.
succeed, you get it out of first gear.
Gears.
And if you fail, you don't. So yes.
Ha!
Oh. If we really fail, it ends up in reverse.
Well, you
You know, let's put that 1 in the failure spot and the 4 in the success spot. See what happens.
It does succeed, but only barely, and also a bad thing happens, which makes perfect sense to me. What? In the back windows of this white Ford Bronco, you notice 2 small lights, one red, one blue, start to flash inside the vehicle that you're in. And they've got those little hoods covering them so that the light doesn't come inside. Sasquatch apparently stole an unmarked police vehicle to come over here, and you are now fleeing from 24 police cars in an unmarked police white Bronco at low speed with the lights on, and you're heading for the freeway, across which Mothra and Godzilla are now arguing, and therefore fighting each other over who did this, who made their child this little shit. Mothman's in the back going, "I'm not going home. Nope, not ever, not ever." Oh, prophecy. Mothman gets his ass kicked by his parents.
That
Interviewed
is a
not by
prophecy
you,
I
it's by
would pay
us.
to see.
So,
Only one of the eyes goes red.
yeah.
Be true.
The proboscis curls up and shrinks in fear and terror. What? Let me paint the scene. You are now on the freeway in a low-speed chase in a white Ford Bronco with Godzilla and Mothra just ahead of you. Behind you, the entire university is in flames. But that had nothing to do with you guys. That was a party over at Alpha Alpha Omega that got out of hand. So at least that's not your problem as you look back behind you. But what is your plan?
All we have to do is drive past Mothra and Godzilla kick Mothman's ass out of the car while we're moving and let them take him.
Rinaldi, I think I may have an idea on how this can work. I back of the apartment from my box that has way too many boxes in it. I just happen to have one that is the size of Mothman, and if we can convince him to go in it, we can push him out in the box, and he won't know we're pushing him out of the van.
That is brilliant. Let's do it.
It's a lot better than my idea of steel-toe boots.
We still might need those.
That's plan B. So, Stuart, you hear this. How would you get a moth into a box?
Well, Stuart's
Yeah, Barry pulls out this little piece of cardboard like this big out of his belt and just starts unfolding shit, and it just keeps unfolding until it is essentially a coffin.
Well, Stuart happens to think that he is the best DJ that has ever DJed, and he always has some sort of portable DJ equipment with him, which is
Yeah.
his O-phone and a bunch of glow sticks. So he's gonna go to his Spotify
Yep.
playlist, play his playlist,
Yep.
throw it into the box, and throw the glow sticks in there with it.
And throw all the glow sticks in. Mothman, who is now hung over, say, "Oh, those are pretty," and he just crawls into the box. The last thing you see as you slam the cardboard box is a little disturbing. His proboscis, the tongue has come out of the end of it, and he's licking the glow sticks. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And you slam the door.
He'll be fine.
He doesn't appear to know he's in a sealed box. He is. You've found the catnip for moths.
No, I genuinely don't care if he'll be fine.
Do you have like a Sharpie or
It's
something?
a cardboard box, and you're going 30. It's
I don't care. I have finals or I have a midterm to prepare for.
So, let's go around. This is going to be a short game, but let's go around. Well, one more round of setup, and then we're going to do the big boom finish. So, let me paint the picture while you guys think about what you want to do. Everything else, the city has gone that weird old Batman style art where it's just big blocks of black and gray. Right, the sky, the buildings, the windows are just those little white 90-degree angles. It's all gone that art. It's not Art Deco, but it's like comic deco style. The highway lifts up from the area around it, so it's raised. It's lit dramatically by street lights that alternate. So as the camera that flies along beside the low-speed chase gets this strobe effect as you go past all the street lights. Behind you, there is a nearly infinite chain of police cars. They fill all 4 lanes of the freeway. 10, 12, 20 rows deep. And for some reason, at the front, there's 3, then 2, then 1. Ahead of you, Mothra and Godzilla stop what amounts to spousal self-abuse or mutual spousal abuse and look down at the oncoming mess. They mutter something, probably Monster for, "I'm sorry, dear, I wasn't really angry at you." What do you
got
do?
your son.
So you scream out, "I got your son!"
You can have him.
I mean, we still have a Sasquatch.
Yeah. Sask is surfing on the top with Stuart, actually. So yeah, Sask's holding you up, starting to maybe feel a bit more like an offering than a superhero at this point.
No. At this point, it's time for the costume change. So
of course. Yes.
Stuart grabs his chest, just the hero armor comes off, and now the god of the dance has emerged from the cocoon of stupidity.
So it's open all the way down to here.
Oh yeah, the very dangerously low V-cut catsuit.
Yep.
And Stuart and Sasquatch are about to grab Godzilla and Mothra's attention even more by having a coordinated dance piece.
Absolutely. And that coordinated dance piece, there's a number of moves, including some pirouettes, but it ends with a hoist, which Sasquatch does with you. A one-handed hoist, where the thumb is sort of betwixt some buttocks
called
the hand
bowling
is sort
blade
of
for a reason.
like just one hand up like that, and you are now yeah, in
It's
black
bowling
rubber, yeah, in a black low cut onesie, being presented unto the monster gods as perhaps a latex wrapped snack. What do you? That's the setup. Okay, I'm going to come back to what do you do with that, Tom. You're driving the truck, kind of standing up because there's no seat, right? So you're using one foot for the gas.
Yeah. I don't know. Being the adult is difficult. I
A
don't.
foot comes in from the roof, a Sasquatch foot holding a beer, and a voice from the roof says, "Then don't."
Uh,
There we go.
this is terrible.
The freeway in front of you, there's maybe one lane between Godzilla's huge unclipped toenails and Mothra's soft velvety feet.
Foot pads. I'm gonna say foot pads.
What are you doing? There's just no way to make that sound fierce.
I'm going to brake, kind of turn it so that it comes sideways, while playing bass guitar, and talking about the intricacies of similes and metaphors in both modern and classical literature to
All
try
right.
and get 4 dice.
The slam
So
hook.
you get 4 dice, and everything you said happens. If you succeed in this and don't have any, and you can eliminate any failures that come up. If you don't succeed, I get to rewrite that whole sentence.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I got
Oh,
2
wow.
6s and 2
That's
1s. I'm going to
2
use both
6s and 2 1s. So you make the bad thing go away with one of them, make the good thing go. I'm just going to black out the 2 6s because this is way more fun if that's 2 1s, but never mind. We'll play with what the dice rolled. You do exactly that. You do the slowest power slide in history. You're only doing like 30, and all of a sudden it goes, "Ugh." I don't know if you've ever heard a semi slide. It doesn't go, "Ugh," it goes woo, 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 woo as the tires lose traction. You kind of start doing that as you're sliding sideways. There's a bit of smoke coming off the wheels. Up what was the rest of it? You power slided and then
I power slide while playing bass guitar.
right, playing bass guitar. Yeah. And going on
and
about
talking about
iambic pentameter or
similes
something.
and metaphors in classical and modern literature,
All right.
while teaching a lesson to everyone at the same time I'm doing this very slow power slide.
Which brings us to Barry.
I was
It
originally
seems like
wondering
a sort
why
of
you were in our-
penultimate moment here. Barry, what
yeah.
are we doing?
So I realized, we're trying to attract Mothra to this box.
Yep.
We are in a vehicle that has a red light and a blue light.
Yep.
Somehow within the span of probably about 5 seconds, I'm going to remove them, still working,
Yep.
and attach them to the box.
Absolutely, you are. Give me some dice.
And,
then
if
you're
this
gonna
doesn't work,
okay,
then
get
somehow
ready
this
to-
ends up getting attached to Squatch, and I'm not entirely sure how that one happened.
Squatch or you. Yeah, let's go with Squatch. I like that. Yeah.
One light per butt cheek.
So if it happens to be part of the role, because for the role I kind of wrote like tech person effectively.
Yep.
Is
Yes.
that 3
Take
dice?
one for
or-
that. Absolutely. Yeah. So there you go. 2 successes.
I mean,
so
I kind of like the idea of I got one light on the box, one light on Squatch, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. I love it.
That will
Yeah.
take the one in the 6.
That is perfect. Ah, love it. Yes. So you kind of boom, and the one goes on on the box, and you kind of kick open the door, and as you do, the one wire that was still connecting the other one swings it out, and you see it go up and wrap around Squatch's leg a couple times. You realize at this point, that wire hardly has to be there. As Squatch takes a step forward, the wire snaps, but you see there's a battery pack inside it. So the blue one is still on Squatch's leg doing this. The red one is on the box.
Cool.
So
That does mean
Power
that
slide
Mothra
continues.
sees Squatch better than the box, which is funny.
well, now this is where I get to set this up a little bit. You start the power slide. As you do, Squatch loses his footing and flies off the top of the van with the blue light flashing on his leg, holding up Stuart in one hand as Mothra does notice the blue light and comes hurtling down towards you. Also, at that moment, Godzilla sees a van. There's only one thing Godzilla hates more than trains, and it's vans. And it's because he has to bend over so damn far for his little tiny short arms to pick them up. He hates them. So he bends down and grabs the power sliding van with one hand. Godzilla coming here. Mothra coming here. Mothman in the box slowly sliding out the back of the van. Stuart on the top like a hood ornament.
All accompanied to a very strange bass solo
Yeah.
with
Combined with bad
English
night
lessons.
Yeah.
and bad dance music, because that's
As you see, a simile is something that uses like or as in a sentence when using comparisons. Metaphors do this without this like or as.
Accompanied by- And with that, you sense a moment is upon you. The climax has come. It's do or die time in a game where you technically can't die. So, we're going to start with those closest. To someone who can honestly say they know what Godzilla's breath smells like. Stuart, you are being cupped and offered like a Ferrero Rocher on a first date. Mothra appears to be taking the offer because they're coming down towards you and Squatch. What do you do?
I press Z to counter and turn it into a rolling die so that Mothra goes straight to the Ford Bronco.
Press Z to, what was it? Press Z to
Press
cancel?
Z to counter.
Counter, that was it, right. Okay. I gotta make notes because this is all gonna happen at once. That was Stuart. Rinaldi, what are you doing? The box now has a bright light on it. It's closed. It's got a Mothman in it.
I'm trying to look. It has it been picked up yet?
Yes. At this point, yes. The whole van has been
Okay.
picked up by Godzilla. So there's one huge Godzilla eye looking in the back while the mouse simultaneously tries to eat the latex chocolate on the roof.
Probably just try to be like asking either Tom or Barry to try to get us out of here. Because
Okay.
I know how this ends from my studies.
Yep. Well, you've
if you
got
want a
Mothman in a
suggestion,
box inside the van still with the back doors wide
Deliver the
open,
package.
and his mom and
Oh.
dad are right there. So
Oh, then I'd be kicking it. Kicking
yeah,
the
I
box
figured
out.
yes. So you kick it out. So give me a roll. On a success, you're going to kick the box outside. On a failure, the box is going to open and release
wanna do that at
Mothman
the
back
end,
inside
or-
the van. 2, unless you can tell me about no cryptid lore. That's going to count. Yeah, so 3. I'm too nice. I don't think anybody rolled. Oh, somebody rolled 2 all night. Ooh, there is a success, and then there's also a problem and a failure. So I'm assuming you're going to use the success to kick him out. Okay, so you kick him out the back of the van. The problem is, as you do so, the cardboard box caves in, and all the glow sticks fall into the back of the van with you. So Mothman hits the road. The cardboard box comes to pieces. And the last you ever see of a cryptid whose only flaw was the ability to see the future is him tumbling down the road in his bad outfit before he's run over by cop car after 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 cop car.
They found their son.
The next day on the news, the only thing that is reported is some mad person dressed as a moth jumped out of a car in front of a high-speed chase.
Nothing
But
about
you
Godzilla.
will go to your graves knowing better. Yeah, I know they were only going 30 miles an hour. I don't care. So Mothman is dead. The van is glowing. So that didn't go particularly well. That was Barry and Rinaldi. Tom. Oh, no, sorry, not Barry. That was
Stuart.
Rinaldi and
Don't think rolled.
yes, Stuart. Yeah. So Barry, I was coming to you next. That's why I was.
I never actually rolled on what I actually did.
Stuart didn't roll.
Not yet. No. Okay, now you go.
Okay.
So that's a success, and yeah. Okay.
So you press Z, but you also press something else at the same time.
Yep. Oh yeah. 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 You press Z to counter. Mothra disappears. Pew. Special ability used. There's another one. Pew. Special ability used, and Godzilla gets twice as big.
They weren't supposed to combine. I thought they patched that out.
And then looks down the road from his new height to see his only begotten son come out from behind 36 cop cars as a crumpled heap on the ground. The only thing between the four of you and instantaneous fire-breathing death is whatever Tom can come up with right now.
You know what? Godzilla, as opposed to actually eating us and doing away with the ways that we would normally do it, allow me to teach you how to better express yourself through poetry and pose, and I shall make you the poet laureate of wherever we are.
Wherever we
Okay, on 2 successes, you turn Godzilla. I'll go all out on this. You turn Godzilla into a nationally recognized level poet who writes sad poetry about not realizing their true self until much too late in life. On a failure, you get eaten.
I
All
have an
of you.
idea if something goes. I have an idea if something goes wrong. My idea is, considering
us an
how
idea
large Godzilla is, I could, or at least one of us probably, I haven't really done anything. I'm going to kind of jump out and see if I can hit him in the eye and see if I can make him flinch just a little bit.
Okay.
And figure out the way down in a minute.
Okay. We will see how that works. Let's see if this works. If it's 2 successes.
How many? I will be playing the bass the entire time while teaching him.
Absolutely. Give me
So I can
give me
roll
4
4.
dice. Let's do this. Nobody's supposed to die on this. There they are. Not
Sixes.
just successes. Not just successes, but 6s. So. But I said 2 successes for this to work.
Yes.
So it does work. Godzilla
I'm
doesn't
fine
eat you.
giving up a leg. If
Yeah,
that
well,
means the rest
no.
of us get to
That's
live.
not what pays the price.
Okay.
In a horrible fit of pique and rage, and again being stymied the last second by you, who does this slow power slide out of range, so the Godzilla is unable to eat you as his face smashes into the roadway, shattering concrete in every direction. His face pulls back up, and for the only time ever, Godzilla speaks, and he looks at you fleeing, and he looks back at the remains of Tokyo, and he says, "Fuck it, I killed a whole bunch of them," and heads back to Tokyo. It was supposed to sound like Mike Tyson. I missed. And heads back to Tokyo to take out his frustrations on a city that's done nothing wrong. The 4 of you, the police, realizing what they've done, just turn off all their lights and slink away into the darkness.
I just
Leaving the
imagine
4 of
them
you
all
on a
reversing,
shattered freeway with a white
going-
Ford Bronco.
Or I just imagine them all reversing slowly away,
Yeah, just
driving back over top of Mothman.
Beep, bum, 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 beep, beep, bum, 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 beep, beep, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, all 36 of them again. And at the very end of it, up over the guardrail, a reporter, you can tell they're a reporter because they're wearing one of those stupid hats that says press, and the little tag that says press, and they've got a microphone on a string still for no good reason that goes back over the fence. There's no cameraman. They just run up to you and go, fuck it, and just turn around and walk away. The four of you stand on
holding
this
the pose the entire time.
the whole
The
time.
same pose.
Yeah, being
Sasquatch.
heroic. Yeah. I think at this point Sasquatch probably proposes. But having saved the world, you know,
Kind of.
having finished the adventure, there, we can go with that. Having finished the adventure, the four of you find yourselves with some time on your hands. The university is burning to the ground in the distance. But you know what? It's almost spring break. I hear there's some funky cryptids in Florida.
You know what? No.
Like Ghost of Florida.
No, where are we going? Your university days are over. None of you are welcome back. So what happens after the day of Mothman 2021?
Stuart becomes DJ
Oh, Stuart.
Cryptid and owns and starts
DJ
up
Cryptid?
a DJ like an underground club for like the vampires and stuff.
Oh, so you like go back to the house, back to the university and gather all the cryptids that were at the party? Because they're all still standing in the street drinking, watching the firefighters try to put it all out, right?
Yeah, he's like getting names and stuff and like getting
Yeah.
back,
Handing
he's
out
gonna
business
start
cards. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna start a club in an old witch's crypt.
All right. So Stuart, with no university, without graduating university, becomes a wealthy bar and club owner. Next.
That's the second time I've done that now, Mr.
Yeah.
Bones.
So I am going to simply go and say, screw this. I'm not allowed back at that university. I'm going
Nope.
to finish my last 2 credits I need
Yep.
at the Cryptid University and then become a teacher for cryptids so that they learn literacy and are able to speak properly and not end up killing them and not end up in such a situation where they get into a spousal fight that ends up with their dead son.
So you go out there to teach cryptids how to communicate, resulting eventually in a lot of them coming out publicly, and you become the sort of spokesperson for cryptid equality, and they start literally coming out of the forests and the woodworks and the swamps and everywhere all over the world to attend university and be treated like humans. No, to be treated like persons. That's the correct word.
Nicely done.
Rinaldi or Barry? Who's got an idea? Barry, you look like you're ready.
What's funny is kind of hearing Stuart possibly going out to kind of make a bar in kind of a nightclub kind of area. I mean, I have the skills and technology. The whole, basically the whole computer science degree really didn't work out too well because, the university doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
But I hear you can do like sound and light technician stuff without necessarily needing a full degree. So if Stuart happens to need somebody with that kind of leaning, would he potentially take somebody who had that kind of interest to work at a club for whatever the clientele might end up being?
I can actually seeing that like branching out into Barry helping cryptids like expand their repertoire, like a banshee gets into opera.
Yep, absolutely. but first, to prove themselves, Barry has to work in a club frequented by sexy battle wizards in a sound booth glued to the wall.
No, see, he's the one that was hired who was like, there's an opening? Okay.
You were hired to replace that guy, yeah. There's a big hole in the wall that's covered in foam, and there's stories, and yeah. But yeah, you had to work in that club for a little while just to learn your chops before you go to work for Stuart.
Still finding feathers weeks later.
Yep, yeah, yellow feathers and innuendos everywhere.
Sure.
That's a call back to one of our other fun shots. Go watch it on YouTube.
I killed that soundtrack.
Yes, you did. And now your other character has replaced him. So,
I hope he survives.
Rinaldi, you're still muted.
I know. Okay.
You were just thinking. I get it.
No. For some reason, every time I hit the bar to not be muted, it wouldn't work, and then I realized I didn't click Zoom.
Oh, yes. There is a way around that, but we'll get you that after. Yeah, there's a shortcut. Anyway.
Well, my brain went to, since now the cryptids are out in the open.
Yes.
And Tom's working for their equality. Rinaldi's just going to help by starting a podcast and a YouTube channel to get so that the cryptids can get their ideas and their thoughts out.
Not to mention, for the first time in your professional career as a cryptozoologist, no one's laughing at you. No one's mocking you. It turns out you were right all along. And so with that, the four of you...
Rinaldi, and thanks for coming to my Crypted Talk. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. That's why we're dropping the curtain on that.
Hey,
That's
never apologize for gold.
No, never, ever apologize. Well, unless you're putting it in the pockets of somebody who's trying to swim. But other than that, that is the perfect place to drop the iridescent, scintillating curtain on tonight. Thank you so much to the four of you. That game was nuts. It has no plot. There's nothing to drive it forward. It was so much fun because there's no reason to do anything.
Just get him out.
Just, even that, if you hadn't, so what? At the end of it, oh, well. Yeah.
We tried.
Oh, wow, it's all made up and the points really didn't matter.
Week.
Oh, so with that, oh man, just let's get to the thank yous. Thank you guys so much for coming and playing with me. Sans, thank you so much. Bison, as always, a pleasure. Scarred, oh, your range cracks me up every time. The adult, whoever thought of that? You playing the adult, what a range. And Nick, oh man, there's every one of your characters has got this sort of what the hell is going on sort of appeal to them. They're just, except for Cheap, now that I think of it, but all the rest of them are just like in over their heads. I love it. So realistic and believable. Oh, thank you to all the folks watching on Twitch, and thank you to all the future YouTube people watching over there too. Oh man, this is like an episode of that show in the 80s that famously said we're about nothing. That was a blast. I had a really good time. I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week for another one of these. Join us tomorrow afternoon, with two of these fine folks for Corsairs of the Cosmos. Is there only two? Yeah, two. Okay. I get confused. I see you guys a lot. And then on Sundays, we'll see one of the others for timely interventions as we go back to see what is all about Pope Joan in the 6th century. That one's going to be fun. And then on Tuesdays, we've got another one of our screenshots. This is going to be a traditional D&D game, just for a change-up. We haven't done D&D on this channel in months. So we're going to do a one-shot next week with one of our fine and wondrous viewers running a game for us. So until all of that, and as always, until next time, thank you for watching. Be nice to each other. Bye.